Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to a brand new F125 League Racing video. Today we head towards round number 5, if my memory serves me correct, of the Ironman League. And we are heading towards Hungary. We're going to be starting down in P19, ahead of Otis Lawrence, next to Duncan Hovland. We've had very poor start so far this season. Not even poor starts, but poor opening laps actually. And we're gonna try and get a better one today. We got one position of the line straight away. Make that 2 because both Leo and Nico were in AI mode. We're gonna go around the outside in turn 1, trying to find some positions, but I have to be careful as well. There's probably 2 cars down my inside, and let's be mindful of them. Now into the next left-hander we're gonna go, and you can see Isvan hit the back of Ismail there. Ismail gets a slide, and I had to back out a little bit there. Sioni spins down the infield. We get squeezed onto the grass almost. And now we're going to go side by side up the hill with Isvan down our outside. See if we can get this position. Probably not, because Isvan has got the inside here. I tried to get some clean air around the outside, but that doesn't work too well usually on the F1 game. So up to P15 actually. Quite a good start from P19 on the grid. As we're still trying to make some more position, we go around the outside of Isvan actually in the very next left-hander, turns to the inside for the next one. And now we need to get a good exit to stay ahead. So we get Isvan still down our inside. Had to slow down there for Declan on the apex, not to tap him around. And up to P14 we go. Finally, a good opening lap in the Ironman League for us. It's been not great so far. We got Ruben Pedreño on the mediums in P11. So he's looking to gain some track position up the start here. Let's see if he can get another one into turn 1. They've used a lot of our battery already, so we might have to start recharging soon into turn 1. Declan is going for it, and Duncan into turn number 1. We can't really find an opening there. Declan covers it off nicely. So I have to settle for P14 now. You can see as we move on to lap 13, absolutely nothing has changed. We're still down in P14. She's kind of to be expected around Hungary, of course. But you can see that Ruben starting to struggle on those mediums already after 13 laps. And he's going to have to come into the box for a new set of tires. Rain predicted, as per usual in the Ironman League. Always custom weather and one wet weather slot at least. And having to do a little bit of lift and coast and the field a little bit too much. But yeah, it didn't make much of a difference. Lap 30, and we've gone up to P10, and that's because some people have boxed. Going for a pit stop before the rain hits around lap 35, and we got Otis behind us who has boxed as well. Going for a move into the right-hander. I didn't really see him coming. So yeah, we lose a position there. Down to P11 we go, and now we got Jack West on a new set of mediums behind as well. And it looks like this is going to be quite tough to keep him behind as well on new mediums, of course. Perhaps we should have boxed as well, but the tricky thing again is with wet weather on Codemasters or on F1 games, is that you just do not know when it's coming. It could be coming 10 laps into the race, or could come in lap 45. It's very, very inaccurate. So now we can check down our inside. Little bit of contact, but it's okay. We drop down to P12. We're gonna lose that position most likely anyway. So yeah, down to P12. Ruben Pedreño, who was struggling in the mediums, already back behind us, and that shows that perhaps we should have made a pit stop before the rain hits.
Rain is inbound, and we're expecting it in around 5 minutes. 5 minutes until the rain. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Yeah, back to that weather. It says 5 minutes, but 5 minutes ago it said 5 minutes as well, so that 5 minutes could be 20 minutes or 25 minutes. It's been an issue since freaking F1 2018 or 2017 or whenever Jeff got introduced. But yeah, they've not been bothered too much about actually making it a little bit more accurate. As further up ahead, there's an incident between Jack West and Otis Lawrence.
Virtual safety car, virtual safety car. Reduce speed immediately and keep a positive delta. Right, drop your speed. Our delta's too low and we're going to risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
And yeah, now
The rain's a few lap outs yet, but it is coming, so be careful. Dryers definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
we're gonna get an opportunity to get not a free pit stop, but a cheap pit stop under VSC. We obviously are gonna be capable of making a pit stop without losing too much time, but the rain is coming, so this is a tricky one, but I'm gonna risk it. And hope that we can actually start overtaking people, because as you can imagine, for the past 32 laps, apart from the opening lap, basically no one has overtaken anyone, apart from the people who've boxed for a new set of tires. Everyone who was on the same strategy has not been capable of overtaking a single person. So yeah, as you can imagine, this was an incredibly boring race. Obviously, it might look a little bit less boring because of its YouTube video, and I've cut it up. But you can imagine, this race is over 1.5 hours long.
Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until we get the green flags. VSC ending. Wait for the greens.
On the same strategy, we've not been able to overtake a single person. Now, we came out 15 seconds behind Ismail Fassi and 11 seconds behind Nicolas Longuet. And as you can see, we are closing up fast. Our fresh mediums, giving us a lot of pace here, here in lap 36. And now we're going to have to go for a move on Nicolas, which is going to give him DRS, of course, but I felt like I was going to gain more by being ahead in these next two corners than actually getting DRS. I think Nicolas didn't mind it too much, because at least that way he would get some DRS on the next straight as well. And you can see we're only 4 seconds away from the group ahead, but it has started to drizzle now. If only the rain came like 5 laps later. I reckon in 5 or 10 laps we would have been in the lead of this race with the pace we had. We were absolutely flying. Imagine, like what, 5 laps ago, we were 15 seconds behind this group of cars. And now we are right back behind them. But the question is, did we really gain anything? Probably not. We probably would have been better off just staying out, but yeah, that's always easy to say afterwards. We just don't know when it's gonna rain beforehand. Not in F1 League racing. So yeah.
Ironically, we have pretty much ended up where we were before.
Now we're 1.5 seconds behind Jack West. We are gonna have to box at the end of this lap as well for a set of the intermediates. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep pushing on. Maybe we can get Jack West. You can see how fast we're closing in. But as we've seen so far across this entire race, you know, catching up is quite easy relative to passing, because the dirty air is so bad and because there's such little slipstream. So yeah, we've catched like 1.5 seconds in 5 corners, but getting past is another thing. You can see.
I've lost first feedback, not now.
Yeah, lost a bit of force feedback there as well, which is very frustrating. You know, in my team I can somewhat handle it, but in league racing when it's competitive, it gets rather frustrating. But yeah, into the box we're gonna go for a new set of the intermediates. And yeah, cars ahead are struggling for grip. I'm trying to find my way through. Unfortunately, we can't. So into the box we go. New set of intermediates at the end of lap 39. And yeah, if you thought overtaking the dry was hard, just imagine how hard it's going to be in the wet. In the wet, it's like 100 times harder for whatever reason. No DRS, but at the same time, you know, you've got the same in the DRS frame. So I guess it's just that downforce loss is more critical in wet conditions than in the dry. So yeah, down to P15 we go. I think there's still someone out on slicks. Might be. I'm not sure. Anyways, not important anyway. We need to try and make some moves. It's Julian Klaverbock and Jack West going side by side. Yeah, the only way we're going to pass here is if someone makes a mistake. Or there's a little bit of an incident, and that's what I was hoping for. Into the next right-hander. We got a good exit, and that's exactly what I was hoping for. Yeah, the only way we're going to overtake people is if they make a mistake or an incident, or if we have a 1 second per lap pace advantage, pretty much. Otherwise, it's just not possible. At the same time, what makes it even harder in the wet is that there's no tire wear, so you can't really create a tire wear offset, you know, by saving or using your tires more. Yeah, tire wear is like 1% per lap, even though you can see everyone drifting around, sliding around like a hovercraft. You're just not getting any tire wear, which makes it really easy to drive, you know. If you don't lose grip by drifting, Jack West, his wheel disconnects, as you can see there. So that's up to P12. Basically giving us another free position. We have overtaken 2 people, but those were just free positions. And you can see we're just drifting around, trying to stay close, but once you get really close, you lose so much downforce. But then on the straight, when you're within 2.5 tenths, you do not get any extra slipstream. And now we're gonna go for the move in turn 1, down the inside, down to 2nd gear, trying to get the rotation on the curb. And now we get good traction off turn number 1. Let's see if we can cover up the inside into turn number 2. We can't quite. I'm trying to go for a switchback, but I forgot that if you just put full steering lock, you basically stop instantly. So switchback did not work. And now we have to recharge our battery a little bit, and then we can go again, because I could just feel that we had so much more pace. But again, just getting held. You can see the speed difference on the entry. We can carry so much more speed, but we just cannot get past for the life of us. So yeah, recharge the battery and then go again, you know. Go for another move. Probably only in turn 1 is a good option. Lap 44, end of lap 44. And you can see that we're probably not quite close enough up until the last corner. You can see the car ahead has made a mistake. He's been making so many mistakes, which invites us to opportunities. And now we've got a good run into turn number 1. We're already side by side, so all we have to do is brake a little bit later and cover off the switchback into turn number 1. A little bit of contact there behind us, but up to P11 we go in lap 45. But you can just see Brandon in P1. He's just driving away because he doesn't have this issue. He can just drive his own pace, whereas we can't. We're just constantly stuck behind people. End of lap 49. And yeah, now everyone is going to be forced onto the same strategy again. And we're just going to have the same issue as before. We're going to have to box now, because if we stay out on the lap, we're just losing time and positions again. But we're going to have to double stack, which is then probably going to lose his position as well. And we're going to be in the same strategy as everyone else, because you cannot do anything different. Which is just so frustrating. So we're going to lose track position, and it's going to be nearly impossible to overtake again. Leo Lund has actually risked it for the mediums. As shit came on. Yeah, we got slowed down there. Even though we were ahead.
We were literally ahead.
So
fucking lag back. This is a dog shit game.
And yeah, now we've lost even more time. We're gonna have to overtake Larry again. So yeah, rather frustrating. But you can see everyone is going for the hards, apart from maybe a few people. But this is quite obviously the best strategy. So that's why everyone has done it. And that just means it's gonna be another 20 laps of train driving. And ironically, the wet is there, you know, to make the race more interesting. But if anything, it's just doing the opposite. It's just making it more dull, because everyone's on the same strategy, which, as we saw in the first hit, no one made overtakes apart from the people on a different strategy. So yeah, I think that just makes it very, very difficult, especially if you're starting P19 every race. You know, we're doing tracks like Hungary, where it's already hard to overtake, and then everyone is forced onto the same strategy because of the rain. So, yeah, my head was on the moon. You can see Nicholas Longa as the same. He retired. Actually, a lot of people retired this race because you can imagine 1.5 hours of train driving. No one is making mistakes because everyone is just constantly driving so far off the pace. Because we're in the train, you know, like you can push, but you're burning up your tires and you're not getting anywhere. You can't overtake. So, yeah, it's rather frustrating, and that's why so many people retired. We finally into the DRS. 2 laps prior to this, I got into the DRS and then I lost 4 feedback in this middle section. So my head was even further on the moon at this point. And yeah, 9/10 back. We've pushed really, really hard to get back into this DRS. But yeah, now we're finally back in the DRS, but we're just gonna have the same issue again. We're not gonna be capable of passing anyone. There's actually, while I was recharging, I missed DRS by 15 1,000ths of a second. And yeah, at this point I was absolutely done with it. 1.5 hour of racing. And we've not really made a single overtake. We made 1 overtake on Larry in the wet. Everything else was just lap 1 or shunts, how we made overtakes. So, yeah. For next week though, next race, there's going to be no more wet to see if it helps improving the racing with more different strategies, which might actually make it more interesting, which I really hope it do, because if it doesn't, we are going to have a long season of league racing ahead of us, which is not going to be interesting for anyone. Yeah, for anyone watching, for anyone driving, it's going to be terrible. So I really hope that it either improves with no wet races, or in a 50% race, maybe with a more tire, it might make it more interesting. But if it doesn't, we are going to be in for a really, really boring season of F1 Esports and of league racing. So yeah, let's hope next week it's going to be better with no wet. Might give some more interesting strategies. A lot of different pit laps, which we just haven't seen so far this season. Everyone is boxing on the same laps because of the wet weather. So yeah, let's hope it makes it better and helps with the racing. Initially, you know, I was like, fuck this, I'm done with it. This has been the most boring few races I've done ever in league racing. You know, the past 4 races have been a complete disaster. But let's hope it's going to be better with no rain. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, and see you guys next time. Ciao.